Hi friends, welcome back to Faith and Arrow Homestead. My name is Jaylee, and today we're outside finally finishing up the planting that we started weeks ago. It's hard because as I'm scrolling on Instagram and watching other people's YouTube channels, I feel like many people are pretty much in summer and have been in summer for some time now, and I still feel like I'm coming out of winter. I don't even really feel like it's yesterday. Tom and I went out to get ice cream, and Tom was like, it feels like spring. And I'm like, yeah, finally, it feels like spring. And it is, I don't know, May 20, it's got to be like the 28th or something today, maybe the 29th. It's almost June, it's pretty much June. And even still, it is cold. It's been cold. But we just now, today's the first day that our nighttime temperatures are getting out of the 40s. And even so, barely. It's like on the cusp of like 49, 50. And you know what? I'm calling it. I have to get these plants in the ground. I have to get these plants in the ground. And so we're going to plant out tomatoes, peppers, the rest of our herbs, the rest of our flowers. We've got a few things going out. We've got several things going out today, and I'm really excited about it. I do want to give you one quick health update, just to kind of explain what's been going on. And I don't know if you guys have even picked up on a difference from watching my videos, but this past really 2 weeks have been hard. I have made I've made the decision to come off of my anxiety medication. And so when I came back from the Bahamas, which was a long time ago now, my doctor and I started that process. Now, if you've never been on anxiety medication, you cannot just come off of anxiety medication. You can. It's not going to be pretty. And so we've been stepping down my dosage in increments. I got to the very lowest dosage that I could get, and then I was taking it every other day. Taking it every other day was what really started the difficult part of this process. That was hard. And I started to really not feel good on the alternate days. And then today's Sunday, this past Thursday, I took my last dose of anxiety medication, and I haven't taken it since this past Thursday. And I feel terrible, you guys. So for almost 2 days now, I've had pretty much a consistent, I'm just like living in a state of panic attack right now, and have been for nearly 2 days. If you've never had a panic attack, I'll try to kind of explain it to you, but it's something that you need to experience to really understand. I can't feel like I can't breathe, like I can't take in a full breath. That feeling of panic down in your stomach. Do you remember? Sorry, all manner of noise this morning. Do you remember when you were a kid and you were in school and you like remembered something that made you anxious? Like you remembered that you had a project that you had to present, or you remembered that there was a test that you had forgotten to study for, or you were going on like a first date. You know that feeling of like almost like panic that you get down in your stomach? I have that all the time. It doesn't go away. And it's very difficult for me to eat, and I get really dizzy, and it's just been not fun. But I'm really, really hoping maybe one more day of it. Like, how long does it take to get this out of my system? And it's funny because I don't have an addictive personality. I am not addicted to any substances. I don't drink coffee. I don't do drugs. Like, I don't smoke cigarettes, none of that stuff. But I find it amusing how when you're on something like an anxiety medication, how your body is truly addicted to it. Like, I'm addicted to my anxiety medication. Not mentally so much, but physically. Like, my body, I'm going through withdrawals. Like, that's what I'm experiencing. My body is like realizing that it's missing and is like protesting the fact that it's not there. And it's frustrating because I just want to feel normal. But I see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm really excited. There's a few reasons, but the one I'll tell you guys about is I have made so many healthy life changes after reading all the books that I've told you guys about and making all of the dietary changes that I've made. I feel so much better. And so I told my doctor when we had the conversation about me coming off my anxiety medication, because she's aware. She's not a holistic doctor. She does not look at her practice that way, but she is aware of a lot of those things. So I told her, I was like, this is going to be a really fun experiment for us, because I want to know how much of my anxiety is genetic and how much of it was linked to a poor diet. Because your gut health and your mental health are directly linked. If things are not right in your gut, things are not right in your brain. And my gut is leaps and bounds ahead of where it was when I got on anxiety medication. So I'm excited. Once I get through this awful withdrawal period, I'm really excited to see if there's improvement. Am I still having panic attacks? Can I get through my day without having anxiety? I'm excited to see. And I'm going to stay off of it for a little while for other reasons. But I'm excited to see. So anyway, I just wanted to give you guys that update because it's been a rough couple of weeks. I'm not doing great, but I am assuring myself that it's almost over. I'm gonna get through it, and once this nasty period that I'm in is over, I'm hoping that I can just feel better and just all around do better. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start planting. I'm not gonna show a whole bunch of it, to be honest with you, because I'm tired and I don't feel good, but I'm gonna start with my tomatoes and my peppers, and I'm really excited to get those out into the ground. So let's go get started planting. Here are my tomatoes. They look awful. Even the ones that I purchased kind of on this side here look terrible. Spotted leaves, curling leaves, they desperately need to get into the ground. So we're gonna get these planted today. So here's an example of a really sad one. This is a San Marzano, and it is not okay. And this might be beyond saving, but I'm just gonna go ahead and prune off what I can here. Some of this definitely dead stuff here. And with tomatoes, all these little hairs here can turn into roots. So I'm gonna bury it all the way up to the first set of leaves here. And I'm hoping that it'll be able to come back. But if not, I mean, it's okay, but that's gonna be what I do in an attempt. I am so mad. I have planted this long bed of tomatoes where the trellises that I've planted last year I'm almost done. I only have a few left, and I just remembered something that I wanted to do. So I did struggle with a little bit of blossom end rot last year, and blossom end rot can be a sign of a calcium deficiency, and I see so many people drop eggs down into the holes where they're going to plant their tomatoes. I only have 4 laying hens, and we eat around 4 eggs a day, so I don't have any eggs to sacrifice. However, I have a jar full of eggshells that I have been collecting. This stinking jar of eggshells has been sitting on my kitchen counter for months while I've been waiting to do this, and I forgot. I'm really mad, but you know what? It's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and do it now that I've remembered it. And I don't know that this is gonna be terribly efficient, but I'm gonna try. And all I'm gonna do is just take some of the eggshell and drop it down into the hole that I'm going to be planting. And again, I don't know if this is gonna be enough, but obviously there is some calcium value in here, right? Because this is what we feed to our chickens to help give them some supplemental calcium for their laying. So obviously there is some level of calcium in here. And that was kind of my thought. That's what I wanted to do this year. Hopefully next year, now that I have so many chickens, I'll be able to do the egg trick. But for now, I'm just supplementing with crushed eggshells. So I'm gonna go through and do that for all of the tomato plants I have left. And then for the others, I'll probably sprinkle some around the base, but I'm really disappointed that I didn't remember to do it for all of them, but it's okay. Babe, I've got a project for you.
Yay.
B, you gonna help Daddy with this project?
Let's do it!
I have not filmed nearly as much today as I should have because I feel awful. I'm having a really hard day, but I've gotten so much done. And I'm not going to go through and show you all of it right now, but there is one project that I've been working on that I want to show you before I get too far into it so that you can have kind of some of the stages. So let me come show you. So here's my main garden compound, and in the middle here I've just had mulch, but I wanted to put raised beds in the middle of it. So that's what I've done today. I cleared out the mulch in the middle here mostly, and I have some wood here that Tom cut for me, and then I've gotten these blocks at Home Depot, and basically it's exactly as you see. It's just basically like a way to keep the corners together. It's really a very affordable way to make a raised garden bed. And I might make a video breaking this down even further for people, because this raised garden bed probably cost me $25. $25 maybe, somewhere in that range, to make this raised bed. Now I'm going to do a second layer, I guess, because this is 6 inches and I would really like for it to be 12 inches. So I have to go back and get 4 more of the corner blocks, and then I already have 4 more pieces of wood that Tom has cut for me. But in the meantime, I can go ahead and start working on this. I don't need it to be all the way built to start filling it up. So what I'm gonna do is, in the middle here, I've got landscape fabric and a little bit of mulch. Over here behind the shed is where I put my compost. And so I've got my wheelbarrow right here, and then I've got grass, some extra dirt from plants that I've planted, some pine shavings from the chickens and whatnot, some kitchen scraps and stuff. I'm gonna rake all this together, get it a little bit more cohesive, and then I'm probably gonna take a wheelbarrow load, maybe 2, and put this stuff down in the bottom of that new raised bed. I don't have a lot of dirt left, so by filling my bed with organic material in the bottom, that reduces the amount of dirt that I have to put in here to get it to an acceptable level. And then that's going to be my herb bed this year. So I'm going to plant out, I've got quite a few herbs that have been ready to go out for some time now. They're actually looking very sad. So I'm hoping to finish this project at least tomorrow. Tom and I need to run to Home Depot and get a few more of those blocks. And I think it should be done this weekend at least. So that'll be really nice. Well, friends, I am good and truly exhausted. And isn't that so much fun when that happens? I've been outside. Today's the last day of my little break, my little holiday break that I've had from work. And I woke up, my phone said 6:18. I woke up, I spent a little time with Jesus, I had some breakfast, and I have not stopped working since. And I am exhausted. But I'm almost done, and I want to get this last project finished before I go back to work. So this morning I planted out my peppers. So now I've gotten out all of my peppers, all of my tomatoes, all of my flowers, and the only thing I have left are my herbs and my celery. I'm gonna put that with the cauliflower, I think. I've been trying to find some shade cloth and I can't find anybody local that sells it, so I'm gonna have to order some. But anyway, I had said that I wanted to build another box, another raised garden bed, and I wasn't sure if it was going to happen, but I already had all the stuff. I didn't have to buy anything, or so I thought. And so Tom and I decided to go ahead and do it, and so that's what I'm sitting on. Inside of my main garden compound, I built another raised garden bed, a 4x4 square. And I'm going to next year add another one in front of it. This one's going to be for herbs. Next year's will be for tea. I had wanted to do both this year. I don't have the time or the money to do it. But I already had the stuff to do this one. So I built it, and I used the rest of the dirt. I filled it with I put some chicken compost and some grass clippings in the bottom, not nearly enough. And so I put the rest of the dirt that had come from my 5 yards that got delivered by dump truck in here. And as you can see, it did not do the job. It did not fill it up enough, because many of the plants that I'm putting in here are perennials. They're gonna come back next year, and this bed is half empty. And I don't want to have to add that much dirt next year. So I ran to my local garden center. I bought 4 40-pound bags of topsoil and 2 40-pound bags of composted manure. And I'm gonna go ahead and add them to this bed just to finish filling it up. And that'll make me feel a lot better. And then I can finally plant my herbs. Okay, sorry, I couldn't really talk while I was doing that because people are out mowing their lawns, but I have this little cute planter inside and I've been growing basil in it and it's doing really well, but I want to get this basil outside because it's not going to thrive in this tiny little pot. So I decided I'm going to put this out with the other basil and then that's it. My herb bed is planted and I feel really excited about it. All right, that looks pretty good. I'm excited. I love good, dirty garden hands. It makes me very, very happy. But got my herb bed planted. So now I just want to very quickly take you around and show you everything. And then we're going to wrap this up. And the next time I see you will be a harvest day, I think, because I don't have any more planting to do. This is where I planted my strawberries and my chamomile and whatnot, and it has been devoured. So I don't know, it's hard to see on the camera, but I got some bird netting that I placed over it to try and preserve whatever harvest is left out of it. I've not been able to eat a single strawberry out of here because they keep getting eaten before I can get out here. So got a little bit of netting over there. We've got all of our tomatoes over here and they're hanging in. I only just planted them like a day ago, so there's not really any progress to be seen there, but they're planted. And then the herb bed over here, I planted the other tomatoes. You can kind of see them scattered about here. Again, that same day. This is where I have to clean this bed out. It's got a lot of weeds in it, but I've got my cauliflower. I'm gonna plant my celery down here. And then I've got my carnations back here. I had said that I was gonna have this be an overflow pepper bed, but I actually managed to get all my peppers in over here. They're all here. So I didn't need to put any anywhere else. We're good to go. I also started some dwarf tomatoes back in January just for fun. And I've got one that's turning. And I actually planted these in the ground today because if you look, they're really sad. I haven't fertilized them. They're not doing great. Very sad looking, but they are putting on. So I put them in the ground and I gave them a drink with some water with some fertilizer mixed in, and we'll see what happens. So everything is looking pretty dang good. I'm very pleased with how it's all turning out. One last thing that I'll show you. I had originally been letting the chickens out and putting them over here along the house. I have a short video on it here. I did away with it. I took it down. It was very ugly, for a lack of a better way of saying it. It was very kind of trashy looking, and Tom and I really tried to make our property look nice, and we weren't happy with it. So I took it down, and I still don't want them free ranging because look at everything that they could destroy. So my solution over here where their coop and run is, I took the whatever this is that I was using over there, and I have it just wired to the side of the run and coming across here, and I attached it to the fence so they're in here. They're able to run in and out of their coop and run. They can still get water and food, but they are able to scratch around. And it's cool because this is the other side of it, the other side of the shed. And so I just did the same thing. I put up a piece of this like flimsy fencing, and I've got a post here. But what I like about it is over here, behind the coop, is where I throw my compost. That's where my compost pile is. So it gives them an opportunity to kind of sift through it for me and work through it, and it gives them something to do. So I think this is gonna work for now, I suppose. And I like this because it's not being held up by much, so I can take it down when it's not in use, so our lovely neighbors don't have to stare at it. And that's what we're doing for now. I threw some of my bird netting over my box too. I haven't had it be as affected by critters. I have been eating strawberries out of this box, but I've lost a few, so I have some left over. Figured I'd toss it on there. And lastly, Tom made this for me, and he hung the lights from it today. So we've got string lights on our patio, and we've got this cute little planter. Alright you guys, well thanks for hanging out with me while we finished up what we had going on in the garden. I'm all done except for just a couple of things, celery, and I think I've got one more flat of flowers that needs to go out, one more 6-pack of flowers. Otherwise, we're all planted up, you guys. And it is the end of May as I'm finishing this video. We just had the holiday weekend, and I'm planted out. And I'm tired. But I'm really glad that it's done. And now comes the part of gardening that is, it's hard, but it's rewarding, and that is the wait, right? You put all these little baby plants in the ground, and if this is not your first year gardening, like it's not mine, you know what's coming, right? You know that here in just a couple short months, few weeks, you're gonna walk out and there are gonna be colors and lush greenery and maybe some things to snack on, and it's coming, it's on its way, but you just dutifully water and fertilize if you have to, and you just anxiously wait for the day that you get to walk outside and see the beauty that is gardening. So I can't wait. I'll take you guys on a tour. I'm probably going to give it a few weeks before I do that because I'd like for things to kind of grow a bit before I take you through, but I will, because this has been kind of chaotic. Both of my gardening videos this year have been pretty chaotic, so I'd like to let everything grow a bit, and then I will take you around and give you a proper tour so you can really understand where everything is. But anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. I can't wait to see you in my next video. Have faith, my friends, and keep moving forward. Bye.